Hi, hello, how are you? And welcome back to another speed build. Believe it or not, this is the third time I'm recording this voiceover because for some reason I kept getting this weird echo and I don't know why. But anywho, let's talk about this build. It's been a while since I've done a speed build and I'm so sorry about that. I just haven't had the time that I usually... The funny thing is that normally I take hours and hours and hours to build stuff in The Sims. And so I haven't been doing speed build videos because I haven't had time to build. And then I sit down to do this one and it took me an hour and a half to build this house. And I was like, are you kidding me? What? What? And so I don't know what was going on with that. But with this house, my goal was to, first of all, build something for base game. Because I got a request to build something with just base game, and I hadn't done that yet, and I'd been meaning to, but putting it off because limiting my options is not my thing. So I decided not to, or I haven't done that yet until now. So here we are. And so I knew I wanted to do that. And then I asked people what they wanted to see. And I got a suggestion for a 50s house. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool. You know, like checkered floors and like all that good stuff. Like just cute little pops of color, all that niceness. And then I had a request from a while ago for a beach house. And I knew I wanted to build a beach house. So I was looking for inspiration for architecture and like the design, that kind of stuff, as I do, you know. And I found a 50s renovated beach house. And so it was a beach house that was built in the 50s that was then renovated to be like a modern house, like a modern, it was more modern contemporary kind of design, but it was amazing. And I was like, how did they know? How did they know that I needed this? I didn't know I needed that. And so I decided, I was like, all right, I'm going to do a 50s house that's been renovated. I'm so glad I did. There's some things in this house I wish I could change, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But overall, I am quite, and I mean quite satisfied with this house because I think it achieved what it needed to achieve. It's a functional, I don't know how much it costs, so I'm not going to say it's a base game renovated 50s beach house that is also a starter home because I don't think I could say that. I don't know if that's true. But it's definitely a functional base game house, and I think it's a cute base game house, which is probably, I think that's the problem most people have is like, they don't know if they can pull off a base game house or figure out a base game house without it being boring. And that's not true. I don't, and I know that sounds stupid coming from me because I never build base game houses just because and I just said it was because I didn't want to limit my options. But that's because I've like spoiled myself mostly with plants. And so, you know, like, I don't know. But you can create cool stuff. And that's kind of what I set out to do here. So I didn't want to do anything too architecturally simple. So I did slanted roofs and like overhanging porches. And my favorite thing ever is the bedroom, which has a like it doesn't have a door. It's not a proper walled off room. It just has a wall and it has the stairs in it and there's a narrow hallway. So like it's separate, but it's not like it's not marked off. It's cool. That bedroom's my everything. My second everything in this build is the bathroom, which you'll see is just one of those things where you see it and you have an epiphany that something in that bathroom, which you'll see as the tile, exists in The Sims. And you're like, well, I can't not build it in The Sims because the thing exists. And rarely do you see something, either in real life or in a magazine or online, in a house, and that thing exists exactly in The Sims. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you look at something, you're like, oh, I want to recreate that in The Sims. And it's just, you'll never get it exactly the same just because you're limited with the content that's in the game. But anyway, I digress. I think this house is cool. And like as a base game house. So take this as an example that if you don't have the packs for whatever reason, even if you don't have all the packs, if you're missing some packs, I'm missing some packs. I'm missing 9 packs. And take it from me, I'm not buying a single one of them until I either just like get that random like itch to buy a stuff pack or they go on sale. So, and I'm not I don't think I'm really missing out on anything by not having them. And I don't think anyone should feel like if they can only, for whatever reason, have the base game, whether it be space on your computer or you can't afford to buy the packs or like whatever. Um, like you don't need the stuff packs. You can enjoy The Sims completely and as creatively, if not more creatively, with just base game. And I say more creatively because base game, because it limits you to not having all the stuff from the other packs. Like obviously I would recommend like for more space, more worlds, all that kind of stuff, like different aesthetics. Yes, different. You get the packs. But like as far as just enjoying the game, which I think is the most important part, is just like playing The Sims and exploring what you can do with a world that you're in near complete control of. Like you only need the base game. And so this house is one of the reasons that I'm really glad that I decided to go modern contemporary with this is that it's very plain. So you have white walls and you have neutral, for the most part, toned furniture, and there's a lot of empty space. And so, like, my challenge to you guys, because my challenge was building this base game house and then, like, meeting my various themes. But my challenge to you guys is to take this house and download it and show me how you make it your own house. You know what I mean? And that can mean, like, tearing down walls and making this go from 1 bedroom to 3 or 2 or however many you need, or adding an accent wall or changing up the kitchen. Like, you know? Because there's so much that can be done in this little space with this little house. And so, like, when I get requests for base game builds or I see people like hunting for base game builds, I think, at least like from my prior experience, that you're looking for something creative to make your game more exciting because you feel like maybe base game can't be exciting after a while. And that's not true because you're creating people. So you're always making someone new, like your Sims, new personalities, new families, new stories, new relationships, and your houses are the same way. And I know not everyone has kind of an eye for architecture or like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, not everyone knows how to decorate or even has an interest in decorating. So you just want to download a house. But that doesn't mean you have to have like suburban homes, which are fairly standard. And I know I build a lot of them too. And I've never lived in a suburban home. So I don't know why I build so many of them. What? I just realized that. Um, or boxes with windows, you know, like the standard, like my first sim house is just like a box with windows. Um, But yeah, you could do a lot. And you can also eat in a lot of places. And you're probably like, what? And that's just because this house has a lot of places to eat. You know, I don't regret it. If you can eat in 3 different spots in your house and have a lovely view of the ocean, put those 3 spots in your house to eat, you know? But I don't know. My whole point with this video was that hi, I'm back building again because I have a little bit of free time, but I also have some big essays coming up. So we might have to drop off the build train for a bit. But on the bright side, my semester is almost over. My semester ends first week of May. So that means we have like a month left of like, does Veronica have or have not time to do builds? And then we're free until August. Isn't that beautiful? Um, but then the other point was that like you can do so much cool stuff with base game, and I feel like I should push myself harder to do more stuff with base game because this house isn't very heavily landscaped, as you might notice, but it doesn't need to be. And I know I go crazy with the landscaping, but you can also do crazy landscaping because there are plenty of flowers in base game. I really like if you're a plant fanatic, and I've said this before, and you can, then do get romantic garden stuff because it adds a lot of plants that will just enhance your plant experience. And I think everyone needs an enhanced plant experience in The Sims, right? Or in life. Go out and buy a plant friend. Um, anyway, but yeah, you can do so much, and it doesn't have to be minimalist. Like, I'm not saying, oh, you can do so much. Look at my minimalist house. It's like mostly empty. No, I made this minimalist because 1, I like that style, and 2, because I want to see what you guys might come up with if you end up sharing what you do with it with me. But you can do a lot, so don't feel discouraged. And I didn't mean for this to turn into like a PSA or just like a pep talk about only having base game. But I don't know. I think it's important, and I don't think people really talk about, like, people always get really hyped about when new content comes out. And I mean, I'm one of those people. But don't feel bad if you don't have that content, is all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to know what you think. And if you end up renovating this build or something, send me screenshots. Tweet me screenshots. Tag me in the gallery. I don't know. Do your thing. But anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!